Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in 30 minutes. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit India's Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir on the 6th of June, marking his first trip since the deadly Pahalgam terror attack. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Chenab Bridge during his J&K visit. It is the world's highest railway bridge, part of Udhampur-Srinagar-Paramulla railway link, symbolizing New India's strength and resilience. Member of the Indian parliamentary delegation visiting Spain, Ashok Kumar Mittal, said that the MPs clearly put forward the message that though India believes in peace, it will never spare terrorists if provoked. An all-party parliamentary delegation led by Congress MP Shashi Tharoor thanked Brazil for its continued support to India in the fight against terrorism as it met with the head advisor to the Brazilian president to brief him on New Delhi's response to Pahalgam terror attack. The delegation also met Brazil's acting foreign minister Maria Laura da Rocha. They discussed recent events leading to Operation Sindoor and India's firm resolve against terrorism. India's Group 4 delegation led by Shiv Sena MP Shrikant Shinde met with the Speaker of the House of Representatives of Liberia and the group of representatives. Leader of India's Group 4 delegation Shrikant Shinde highlighted the strong ties between India and Liberia and underlined India's strong, long-standing fight against terrorism. Meanwhile, Bharatiya Janata Party MP Basuri Swaraj also reaffirmed India's stand against terrorism. Captain Rajesh Chauta, BJP leader and member of the all-party delegation, called the five-nation tour a powerful step in India's united stand against terrorism, highlighting the delegation's shared commitment across party lines. An all-party delegation led by BJP MP Ravi Shankar Prasad met UK Labour Party's India Friendship Groups, reaffirming India's united stand against terrorism. The Group 7 Indian parliamentary delegation led by NCP SP Supriya Sule met Egyptian lawmakers, reiterating India's resolute stand against terrorism. Highlighting concerns over cross-border terrorism, particularly from Pakistan, the delegates emphasized India's commitment to combating this global threat, fostering stronger bilateral cooperation for peace and security. An all-party delegation led by BJP MP Baijayant Panda returned to New Delhi on Tuesday after a four-nation visit. The delegation highlighted Pakistan's misuse of funds for terrorism, among other concerns. India's Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan, while delivering a special lecture on future wars, spoke about the success of Operation Sindoor. He added that operation was a big achievement and created history. India's Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha sacked 3 government employees, Malik Ishfaq Nasir, Ejaz Ahmed and Wasim Ahmed Khan, for links to Lashkar-e-Taiba and Hizbul Mujahideen. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal is on a 3-day official visit to France as part of a 5-day tour of France and Italy. Piyush Goyal met his Singaporean counterpart in Paris. Both the leaders discussed enhancing bilateral trade and investment ties and highlighted opportunities India offers across various sectors, especially in the shipping sector. India's Minister Piyush Goyal also met with his French counterpart Eric Lombard. The pair exchanged views on deepening economic partnership along with the progress of the India-European Union FTA negotiations. Piyush Goyal also held a meeting with Nigeria's Minister for Trade, Industry and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, in Paris. Both the leaders explored avenues to boost bilateral trade along with World Trade Organization reforms. India has reported over 4,000 active COVID-19 cases, mostly mild, concentrated in Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. COVID genome sequencing is underway for all samples in India. High-risk groups have been advised to take extra precautions, maintaining hygiene, washing hands and staying cautious. Meanwhile, the sacred relics of Lord Buddha returned to India from Vietnam aboard an Indian Air Force aircraft landing at Delhi's Palam Technical Airport. The relics drew 17.8 million visitors, symbolizing deep India-Vietnam spiritual and cultural ties. Indian benchmark indices ended in red on the third consecutive session on Tuesday. The BSE Sensex fell 660 points to 80,713.76, while Nifty fell below 24,550 to 24,493.3. The Indian rupee depreciated 20 paise to close at 85.59 against the US dollar. Global gold prices are steady at 3,360.88 per dollar and silver at 33.06 per dollar amid US-China trade tensions. Analysts forecast gold reaching $3,519 by June end. Silver stands at $33.06. Industrial demand may lift silver to $37.98 by June end despite tariff uncertainties impacting global markets. The OECD/global growth forecast to 2.9% for 2025 and 2026, citing US President Donald Trump's tariff as a major economic threat. The US faces a sharp slowdown with growth cut from 2.2% to 1.6%. US tariffs under President Donald Trump, now at 15.4% on imports, threaten global growth, warns the OECD. US inflation may hit 4%, doubling the Federal Reserve's target. China's growth dips to 4.7% and Japan's to 0.7%. Asian markets rose with Hong Kong's Hang Seng up 1.5% to 23,512.49 and Shanghai Composite up 0.4% to 3,361.98. Oil prices climbed 0.9% with WTI at 63.11 per dollar and Brent at $65.18 after Ukraine's strike on Russian bombers raised geopolitical tensions. OPEC plus modest production increase and potential US sanctions on Moscow have fueled concerns while US markets saw tech-led gains. Deutsche Bank raised its S&P 500 year-end target to 6,550 from 6,150, a 10.35% increase from the last close of 5,935.94, citing lower tariff impacts and a stronger economy. Deutsche Bank's S&P 500 target hike to 6,550 reflects a reduced tariff drag, estimated at one-third of prior projections. The finance card above shows SP5 at $590.29. At a keynote conversation during Snowflake Summit in San Francisco, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman predicted that by next year, AI systems will begin helping businesses solve complex problems and even uncover new knowledge. Speaking alongside Conviction founder Sarah Guo and Snowflake CEO Altman said companies prepared to harness the full potential of AI while experience a step change as models evolve from automating routine tasks to tackling non-trivial challenges. Ukrainian officials led by Andriy Yermak arrived in Washington on Tuesday to discuss defense aid, battlefield updates with US counterparts following Monday's Russia-Ukraine peace talks aiming to strengthen economic and military ties amid conflict. A Ukrainian delegation met US officials in Washington on Tuesday to address defense support, battlefield dynamics, and enhance sanctions on Russia post-Russia-Ukraine talks targeting robust economic and security cooperation. Russia captured Andriivka village in Ukraine's Sumy region 5 kilometers from the border, Moscow's defense ministry confirmed on Tuesday. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres on Tuesday demanded Yemen's Houthi rebels release dozens of aid workers, including UN staff, a year after their arrest. US President Donald Trump and China's Xi Jinping are likely to speak this week, White House's Caroline Leavitt confirmed amid escalating trade tensions. The call aims to address China's alleged violation of tariff truce. Polls have opened in South Korea for a new president to replace conservative Yoon Suk-yeol. The snap election follows his impeachment over a failed martial law bid. Opposition candidate Lee Jae-myung leads while ruling party's Kim Moon-so trails. Candidates wrapped up 3 weeks of campaigning with final rallies in Seoul. Mongolian Prime Minister resigned on Tuesday after losing a confidence vote following protests in Ulaanbaatar over alleged corruption. He'll remain as caretaker until a successor is appointed. A nationwide transport strike in Nepal has brought public transport to a halt, affecting daily life, including Kathmandu. The strike follows new ride-sharing regulations introduced by the Gandaki province government. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum defended the country's first judicial election despite reports of just 13% voter turnout. The election, which saw 13 million ballots cast, has faced criticism from opposition groups. Protests erupted in Bolivia on Monday with supporters of former President Evo Morales and farmers rallying against the economic crisis and the current government. Morales has contested his exclusion from 2025 election. Doordarshan hospital residents and supporters held a candlelight vigil at Buenos Aires obelisk on Monday, demanding a salary adjustment. Health professionals have been in a standoff with the government for 2 weeks over long hours and low wages. A Berlin court ruled on Monday that Germany acted unlawfully by rejecting asylum seekers at the border, referencing a case where so many individuals were turned away at the Frankfurt on their train station. A Chinese Commerce Chamber expressed disappointment after the EU backed a proposal to restrict China's medical suppliers' access to public contracts, urging a reassessment of the measure. The suspect in a series of firebomb attack in Colorado's Boulder, Mohammed Sabri Solomon, appeared in court on Monday. He faces charges including assault, explosives use and first-degree murder, though no death occurred in the attack. Time to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
Exactly what save your.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued an orange alert for 11 states including UP and Punjab, warning of intense rainfall and thunderstorms. Heavy rainfall is expected to continue in northeast India for the next 5 to 7 days. Delhi's weather forecast indicates mild rain, thunderstorms and strong winds with temperatures between 35 to 37 degrees Celsius. The IMD has issued a yellow alert urging the residents to stay weather aware. Assam's flood situation has worsened with districts like Sribhumi and Kachhar badly affected. The Brahmaputra and Barak rivers are flowing above the danger level while SDRF teams are conducting rescue operations. In Sikkim, the first group of evacuees was airlifted from Chatain. 2 Mi-17 V5 helicopters carried 34 people to safety at Pakyong Greenfield Airport who got stranded due to rains inducing landslides, bridge collapse and damage along with the high rise of the river Teesta. Floods in Manipur have affected areas beyond Imphal with landslides reported in several districts. 31 relief camps have been set up and over 3,300 houses have been impacted. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke with the Chief Ministers of Assam and Sikkim and the Governor of Manipur to assess the ongoing flood and landslide situations. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma briefed Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the flood situation, detailing ongoing relief operations. Prime Minister Modi assured full support from the central government. Sikkim Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang thanked Prime Minister Modi for his support regarding the state's flood and landslide crisis, assuring full commitment to managing the situation. Mount Etna in Italy's Sicily erupted on Monday, sending volcanic ash into the sky. The eruption has not impacted operations at nearby airport. Residents of Mokwa in north-central Nigeria's Niger state continue to mourn their loved ones following devastating flash floods. Many are frustrated with the lack of government assistance. The death toll is over 200. In Australia's Alice Springs, emerging artist Martin put his first solo exhibition that blends Anmathayar ceremony with contemporary art using native process to tell cultural stories through sculpture and portrait forms. Alongside his work, the Australian gallery also features Vincent, known for his satirical, politically charged art. The Copier project, funded by the South Korean government, is distributing fodder plant seeds to livestock herders in Chuv province in Mongolia, aiming to enhance feed quality and support sustainable farming. 15 households in the province have joined the South Korea-funded Copier project, receiving fodder seeds to improve livestock feed quality and boost profitability. In Beirut, Lebanese ride a shiny purple bus to university as part of a new initiative to revive public transport in a city struggling with basic services. The public buses of Beirut, equipped with GPS and operating along 11 routes, offers a more affordable and comfortable alternative to the informal private transport network. In Cairo, a pioneering art house cinema has defied commercial trends for over a decade, offering a space for underground films amid the dominance of US blockbusters. Despite facing economic and political challenges, the theatre continues to offer independent art and underground cinema, preserving a unique cultural space in Egypt's film industry. In Greece's Fonoi, a modest fishing catch is becoming a rare event as the Greek government introduces measures to protect the coral reefs in the area. Greece has banned bottom trawling in the waters surrounding Fonoi to protect newly discovered coral reefs, with plans to expand this to all protected marine areas by the year 2030. Muslim pilgrims performed the tawaf, the circumambulation of the Kaaba, ahead of the official start of Hajj. In Morocco's Temara, rising summer temperatures are driving more people to the beaches seeking relaxation and escape from the heat, but this also brings challenges in managing the visitors and protecting the environment. While beach visitors increase during heat waves, local authorities face challenge of managing the crowds, ensuring safety and maintaining cleanliness to protect marine environment. Twin polar bear cubs born in the month of December made their public debut at the Zoological Park in Sendai, Japan, attracting over 200 visitors. The male and female cubs of the zoo, currently weighing 30 kilograms each, will soon have their nicknames chosen through a public voting ending the 17th of June. Walt Disney announced on Monday that it will be laying off several hundred employees in film, television and corporate finance. The layoff will affect multiple teams around the world, including film, TV marketing, TV publicity and casting and development. Veteran actor Denzel Washington attended the unveiling of his portrait at Joining Broadway Legends. The event celebrated the long-standing tradition of showcasing portraits of Broadway stars, a practice that began in 1920s. King of the Hill voiceover actor Jonathan Joss has passed away at the age of 59. He died in a shooting, according to San Antonio police. Actress, director and producer Olivia Wilde is set to receive the Taormina Film Festival's Creativity Award at the 71st edition of the event. Adolescents took home 3 prizes at the Gotham Television Awards, including Breakthrough Limited Series on Monday. Seth Rogen's The Studio won Breakthrough Comedy Series and The Pit won Best Drama. Celebrities Pedro Pascal, Ariana Grande, Daniel Radcliffe and Sabrina Carpenter have signed an open letter calling for the allocation of $50 million in federal funds for LGBTQ youth suicide prevention programs. The highly anticipated sequel, The Accountant 2, featuring Ben Affleck and John, will soon be available for streaming on Amazon Prime, releasing this week. Netflix has confirmed the return of the romantic comedy Nobody Wants This. The new season is set to start streaming on the 23rd of October this year. The creators have released the first poster for the highly anticipated sequel to the box office horror hit Five Nights at Freddy's, based on the blockbuster game series. Bollywood legend Rekha's timeless classic Umrao Jaan will be re-released in theatres, restored in 4K resolution by NFDC and FAI. The film is set to hit the theatres on 27th of June. And stage is all set for Indian Premier League final, where RCB are locking horns with Punjab Kings in Ahmedabad. Both RCB and Punjab Kings will compete for their maiden IPL title trophy on Tuesday. Winners of the Indian Premier League will walk away with prize money of 200 million Indian rupees, while the runners-up will receive 130 million Indian rupees. In badminton, two-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu came out victorious against Japan's Nozomi Okuhara on Tuesday in the round of 32 of Indonesia Open. In men's singles, Lakshya Sen was knocked out in the opening round of the Indonesia Open after he lost against world number 1 Shu Yuqi. HS Prannoy also bowed out of the tournament. The 2023 World Championship bronze medalist lost by 17-21, 18-21 to Indonesia's Albi Farhan. Four-time Olympian Deepika Kumari will spearhead India's challenge at Archery World Cup in Turkey. World champion Ojas Deotele, two-time Asian Games gold medalist Abhishek Verma, Rishabh Yadav and Uday Kamboj make up Indian men's compound archer squad for the tournament. Neeraj Chopra Classic 2025, which was postponed earlier, will now take place on the 5th of July in Bengaluru. In French Open, world number 1 Arina Sabalenka defeated Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen in straight sets to book the first spot in French Open semi-finals on Tuesday. Alexander Zverev advanced to the quarterfinals at the Roland Garros for the 7th time in 8 years when the Longrix pair was forced to retire. Novak Djokovic claimed his 100th victory at the French Open after beating Cameron Norrie in the 4th round. Carlos Alcaraz faces a stiff challenge from Tommy Paul in the French Open quarterfinals on Tuesday. The 2022 Wimbledon finalist Nick Kyrgios said that he will miss this year's tournament due to injury. And Carlo Ancelotti led his first training session as coach of Brazil team ahead of their match against Ecuador in the South American qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.